Welcome back, everybody. So we are now in the port city of, I think it's Nicaea? I think is what it's called. And we're actually getting ready to wrap up Sabin's scenario because we finally have means to get to Narshe. Before we do that, we're going to get a little bit of shopping done because a lot of things have been used in this little 3-scenario quest. And not really a whole lot of shops in between. So we're just going to go ahead and refill, and once again, I want to thank everybody who has been watching the Legion beta videos that went out this weekend, as well as all of the other stuff that's been happening this summer. You guys have been so great about it, so open with your feedback, but also enjoying what we're putting out, so I appreciate that. Specifically, the fans of the WoW coverage, as well as the Devil May Cry 3 coverage, or the special Let's Play between me and Brenton, because you guys are really liking it, and I'm glad you like it. Narshe is just a stone's throw away. Yes, it is, Cyan. Hope the others arrived safely. I'm sure they did. Me hope so too. Well, thank you, Ga. I think somebody actually did clarify to me the name is actually Gao. I'm just gonna go with Ga. Ga's what I've called him since childhood, so. The three have reached Narshe, and a decisive battle is about to take place! I don't know why place isn't there, but it is so odd! Alright, so now we move on with the story. I understand all of it, except how can we be encouraging bloodshed? Probably going a little too bombastic, but I like it. I never said that. Well, something like it! That's a troll conversation right there. He's right, you know. Companion, our blood will spill because of you. Emperor Gestal's racing to acquire magitek power. He set his sights on the Esper that was found here. The increased use of magitek power will surely lead to global destruction. The War of the Magi. The mythical battle that set mankind back 1,000 years. Can this really be happening? We demand the extradition of Captain Kirk! Oh, I'm sorry. That's where the voice is coming from. People will never learn. Gee, I was just about to say that with current times. Brother! A lot of people want Macho Man for Sabin. Sabin, you're alright. Well, of course, I'm the Macho Man. Who's this with you? I am Cyan, retainer to the Lord of Doma. Just noticed a lot of characters have British accents in this one. Gah! Gah! The people of Doma were wiped out by the Empire. And for some reason I'm going into a Patrick Warburton. And I don't even do him very well. Kefka poisoned everyone. Barbaric! Elder. But that was only because Doma was collaborating with the Returners, and they didn't extradite Kirk! If we make that mistake... That's nonsense! Look! The Empire's poised to attack Narshe right now. What? Well, of course they are. Look! Where'd you hear that? Celestia was one of the Empire's generals. I knew she seemed familiar! Sakar, out of my way! No! Don't kill her, Cyan! Even though you're a badass! This is General Celeste. She torched Miranda. She's an Imperial spy. Now stand aside! Wait, Celeste has joined the Returners. She's fighting with us now. And we don't care. But I promised I'd protect her. I will not back out on my word. Look, are you still thinking about that? I was also an Imperial soldier. What? There's a lot of yelling in this episode. The Empire's evil, but not all of its citizens are. Oh, this is what, Sabin? I'd like to know. Emergency! The Empire cometh! This is not a Shakespeare play, dude. And with that, we now get to see the new Empire force. I don't care what you do here. Just get me that Esper! Lord Kefka, there are civilians here. Exterminate everyone! But Narshe's neutral. You idiot! Read my lips. Dispose of any who oppose us. Now march! I apologize for the people whose ears I just blew out. We really have no choice. Oh, we really have no choice. Let's make ready for war. They're off to the Esper. We moved it into the hills. Then we're going up after it. I'm trying very hard not to yell into the mic, but it's being hard. Locke has a complicated past. I wouldn't go thinking he's fallen for you or something. I'm a soldier, not some love-starved twit. Good enough. We're gonna have some fast conversations here. So you were born with the power of magic. Isn't it a lovely gift? You can use magic too? When I was a baby, I was artificially infused with magic, and raised as a Magitech Knight. Okay. Have you loved anyone? What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, what is that supposed to mean? Terra just became Commander Data. Don't think for a moment I trust you. Fine. Use your own eyes, then decide. Already our alliance here is not really working out, but okay. So with that, we actually get to the second army battle that you can have in this game. So everybody remembers that I love the first one. The second one is good too. It just makes me wish it would have lasted longer, or we would have had additional army-based battles. I'm glad that other RPGs like Suikoden actually kept this, for lack of a better word, tradition alive. But not by much. That's the sad part, is that yes, Suikoden had army battles, but those were constantly changed and in some cases not as great as they could have been as they were in others. So basically, this is going to be one of those moments where we're going to start we're taking this moment to equip everybody, make sure everybody has some gear, has proper relics, to be able to kick some butt, because this is a longer one than the one we did with Locke. That one was intentionally short just to get people used to the idea, and that's how it worked out. This is also why I just took this time now to buy the appropriate equipment in any town that I could find, and if it was something new, then get it so that I could be prepared for this. Because you never know, like, you might find something that only Ga can equip, and if you don't buy it, then you don't have that opportunity, and therefore Ga comes into this battle weaker. Because unlike the Locke battle, where we had Mughals that were properly equipped and all that, this time you have to do it yourself. And you have to make sure that you have the appropriate tools and blitzes and sword attacks and all of that to be able to make this work, especially since we technically only have 2 magic users, but tons of special abilities. So we have to be able to not only put the magic users in the proper parties, but also put them with the right synergy of abilities so that we can continue to go through these battles, because we're going to have lots of battles in this particular one. Again, it's just one of those things I really love about 6, is that they took the time to not just do what other games had done from a gameplay perspective, but actually tried to have new things added into it as well. And I think we are ready to go. Yep, so we're going to go talk to Banyan. So the goal here is, if they reach Banyan, we're done. Because this is still kind of under the same qualifications as the scenarios were, where if Banyan dies, it's an instant death. So none of the Empire soldiers can get to Banyan. And I've already received some questions from non-fans. It's just like, so does this happen the entire game? No. Thankfully, around this time it ends. Are you prepared? Yes, we are. So let's go ahead and set up the parties.
Save the Esper from Kefka. Need some info?
Nope. I know what I'm doing. As much as I like your voice, Mog, we don't need you to explain anything. So we're just going to go ahead and form 3 groups, and obviously 2 of those groups will have magic users, Celeste and Terra, both of which have cures, so that'll help. Putting Edgar with Terra, and I think we're going to put the opposite brother with Celeste. Yep, so... Although technically you can put, because we want to have a third party, we might actually put somebody fairly powerful on their own. Oh, and we're just going to put the brothers with Terra and Cyan and Locke with Celeste, and put Ga on his own. Oh, wait. I think I may have actually realized my mistake here. Technically, you can put Cyan, Edgar, and Sabin in their own parties, and it's okay. Because I think right now, like, when I resolve this, I actually put Edgar in his own party because he has more AoE, or area of effect attack, all attack, that does a lot more damage. You don't have to have a third party, by the way. You can go with 4 people in one party and 3 in another. And in fact, it's probably better to do that. I probably should have done that, but this is what I decided to do. So now we're prepping.
Oh, it's General Celeste, the traitor. How delightful. This'll be fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Kefka. And here comes his little retinue. That's a lot of soldiers, and technically that's not even all the soldiers he uses.
Go! Get those vile insects!
And I actually like that I got a comment from somebody saying, like, are you thinking Kefka sounds like Starscream? I didn't think about it, but yeah, I guess. I have nothing against Starscream. But I didn't actually realize at the time the voice that I'm giving Kefka is kind of is Starscream. So awesome. Good on you for picking that up, because I didn't notice. Alright, so basically we're just going to wait until these guys come up and just do a bunch of, not random, but battles. Yes, the random, I think I may have found my, my episode title, Random Butt Battles. So this is usually around the time that I try to conduct, or I try to handle any channel business, things like that. Not really a whole lot to handle. The Let's Plays are not being affected. The podcast is going to have some unusual weeks in the coming weeks. So next week, we actually are going to be doing a group review for Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. And we actually will be getting on at 10 o'clock and getting together to do it then. Because unfortunately, our schedules didn't line up for TMNT, so we aren't able to see the movie together. But we will be getting together at 10 o'clock to be able to talk about Out of the Shadows. And then the second, we'll try and split this up as evenly as we can. But since literally the next day, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, starts up, we're going to go into our E3 expectations. And the following week will be our E3 results coverage. So we're going to be having Brinton coming in. Probably the entire panel will be there to give our opinions on how Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, EA, all of them did at E3. So you guys can look forward to that. I'm not, because I will literally get not as much sleep as I want, and then I literally have to start watching E3 coverage the next day. So, because I think the first panel that comes up is the EA panel. And yes, I'm watching the EA panel. So that's going to be interesting, but that's really the major change that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Is E3 is going to change up the schedule of the podcast, and then we'll get back to our regular discussion of the stories at the time. At that point, we'll probably even, if you guys suggest stories during that time, we will move them to 1 or 2 weeks later and cover them then, as long as they're still relevant at that given moment. And people are already asking me my opinions on the most recent stuff that got announced for E3. In particular, the announcement of the remastered Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age for PS4. For a while there, I was actually not going to do 12 and just say it's too old. Thanks, Square. Now I have to get the PS4 version. Now, supposedly this is the better one because it's based off of the long Japanese-only Zodiac job system instead of the horrendous license grid that was in 12. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the license grid. I'm not going to say it's good or bad just yet, because I don't know the Zodiac job system well enough. But thanks, Square. Now I'm probably going to cover 12. I actually was very strongly considering not covering 12 and just moving straight on to 13. Because if there was an absolute worst, 12 would be very much up there, if not the number one spot. It would be very high. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm not excited for it, but I'll probably get it just because I want to be able to do the Roman numeral line with you guys. And then people also wanted to know my opinion on the stuff regarding 15. I don't really have an opinion. I've kind of put myself into a media blackout until E3 and wait to see what they're going to do with it there. So if there's been a new trailer or anything like that, I haven't seen it. I'll probably wait until E3 and then I'll get myself up to par. I'm still excited for 15. I still want to play it. So that hasn't changed. And then I also know that a lot of people want to know my opinion on World of Final Fantasy. It was one of the games I liked from the Square Enix convention, or the Square Enix conference, as well as I think it made the Sony conference. It's like the cute and cuddly Final Fantasy, but it has all of the characters kind of meeting there. Yeah, I like it. I will probably do something on it. If not simply a game review, who knows? Maybe it'll make these Let's Plays. That's kind of a ways off, though, people, so I'm not trying to get your hopes up here. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, that pretty much covers the business that we need to take care of. I'm glad. Oh, and also to the people who've been asking, where are the Let's Play lives and things like that, they are coming, actually. I was able to record a bunch of new footage, and no, the Tale of Drak is not that. I heard you guys want more Stardew Valley, and there was one other game that people wanted more of that is on my schedule. I don't have my schedule, like, right in front of me, but it's going to make it there, too. So you guys can look forward to that I want to say in the next couple of days. And then also, I did get my review out of Battleborn to mixed reviews. I've talked to people both positive and negative on the matter, like saying basically I didn't give Battleborn a chance, I immediately wrote it off. That's not the case. I wanted it to be as good as Overwatch or anything else. I came into that review like I do with any other. My problem is that it's not, and people think I'm writing it off as a bad game. No, I'm not. It's an average game. It's fine. With more characters, with more multiplayer modes, with all of that, it would be better. I love the people that are trying to tell me, no, it's a solid MOBA. No, it's not. When you have different multiplayer maps that don't incorporate more MOBA mechanics, it's not solidly a MOBA. So at that point, it's a multiplayer shooter just like Overwatch, just like Team Fortress 2. In fact, I'm not holding this against Gearbox. Maybe their original intention was to have it become that, but then somewhere down the line, they changed their mind. So people think I've been hammering it too hard, and probably not justly so. I don't think I'm hammering it. I thought it was a good entry and another solid IP that Gearbox has. But I don't know what to tell you when you think that I'm hammering the game that you like, and in my interpretation, I'm not. I think it's going to be good. I think any improvements they make on it from here can only take it upward, and that's Borderlands, people. Borderlands started off kind of bad originally, like they were still learning. It's a good first entry, but like with all first entries, you have to go through a little bit of growing pains to be able to figure out what you want to do. Borderlands did that. Borderlands 2 is a better game because of the lessons that Gearbox had to learn. And I think that's going to be the exact same case here. Is as soon as Battleborn kind of goes through its paces, and Gearbox looks back at it and goes, okay, we could do this better, we could do this better, and this better, it'll be an overall better game. And I don't know if we're going to get a Battleborn 2, but, maybe we'll get some DLC packs that'll include characters, maybe even more to the campaign. And I would look forward to that, because one of the things I will always compliment Battleborn for in shooters these days is it actually had like a 6 to 8 hour story. That's ridiculous for shooters. And that's amazing for me. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I don't think it's a bad game. I think it stands on its own. But in the grand scheme of things, is it the best game that came out in the month? No. But that doesn't mean it isn't good. So there you go. We have the review out. We have all of that fun stuff. As far as game updates, I really don't have much. I gave the Mass Effect 3 update last week. The other update that I have is that I was able to play a good deal into Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, because people have been asking me to play the Sly Cooper series, especially with the upcoming movie. And so I've been able to play through like the first segment of it, the first villain you have to actually take on. And yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself. I really like it. It's a good, solid platformer, and again, a collection platformer that I'm liking doing the collecting. And also, obviously, the characters are great. Sly and his little band of thieves are all really great characters. And the villains that they have lined up, I have not been disappointed with thus far. Granted, I haven't met all of I think it's the Fiendish 5 that he's going up against in that game. Yeah, it's the Fiendish 5. I've only met one or two of them, and I like them. Especially when you go into like a backstory for them. The first one, Raleigh the Toad, was a spoiled British brat until he found his life of crime. I mean, that's great. Especially the whole comic book telling of his story was even better than I could have ever imagined. So I'm liking Sly Cooper, but I'm not that far into it, so I don't want to prematurely say that it's the best game I've played in a while. It's slowly becoming that, but it's good. I like it, which is better than what I can say for some of the other games that I've been playing for this. But unfortunately, I think we're actually coming up on that time for this week, so I may keep that for next week. As you guys can obviously see, this segment takes a while to get through, but at least we're getting a portion of it done, so that the next part we can focus on taking down Kefka. Oh noes! And of course we have to have that final attack. Yay! Cure them up! And we have another Aura Bolt, because that's like one of the few blitzes that I can do on the controller that isn't going to kill me and get incorrect blitz inputs all the time. So yeah, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying this playthrough of Final Fantasy VI, and thank you so much for your feedback and your views and all of that fun stuff that you guys continue to contribute to this channel. I always appreciate it. And we'll see you next time when we confront Kefka and save the day.